Alright, yeah, welcome back to some more Magic Arena. Today is a very special day, because today is the day that Wizards care enough to give us Historic Brawl. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We've got the festival event for this wonderful format. It's 2,500 golds to get in, because obviously Historic Brawl being free is not something they're interested in quite clearly. But what you do get for that is access to the best format on the client, as well as a gleeful shepherd emote. I think it moves. I don't know. It just stares at me with its evil eyes right now. Just staring deep into my soul. And just... yeah. Anyway, and you also get some Kaldheim alt arts as well. I absolutely adore the alt arts on these cards. Not exactly the most playable ones. They seem to have reserved most of the unplayable alt art cards for Historic Brawl. Go figure. This one's probably the least value for your gold, personally, because I don't think Sigrid's playable. Alrund is garbage, and Serulf seemed like it was good, and then saw absolutely no play. So, yeah, I don't think you'll really be playing many of these cards that you're getting alt arts for, but, you know, it's Historic Brawl. So, you know what, if we're going to have to get scammed to play Historic Brawl, then so be it. So yeah, we're going to be doing that. I think it's around for 3 days as well, so, you know, that's 2.5 days worth of your free-to-play gold right there. And, yeah, it's a thing. Anyway, let's go on to the deck we're going to be playing today. We've played this one, I think, in the past. I can't quite remember how we built it, but this one has got a more aggressive shell to it. We're going to be playing with Rienne, Angel of Rebirth, a Naya coloured 5-mana 5/4 with flying. Says other multicolored creatures you control get +1/+0, and whenever another multicolored creature you control dies, return it to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. I actually think we never played this in Brawl. I think we played it in Historic, or maybe even Standard at the time. I can't remember. I think we've definitely played it in a constructed format. The more I think about it, the less I think I've actually played it in Brawl, but who knows? Either way, it's a multicolored matters kind of commander, and we've got lots and lots of things that care about multicolors matters, so let's see if we can pull them all out and put them into one little pile, so that we don't have to kind of talk about every single card in the deck. I think that's mostly it, actually, as it turns out. Really? Yeah, I think that's about it. Alright, so we get the +1/+0 on Rienne, and of course the recursion from Rienne as well protects us from board wipes and gives us that little bit of extra value if our opponent does have some removal for them. We also have upside for multicolored cards, things like a 5-mana Tome of the Guild Pact says whenever you cast a multicolored spell, you draw a card, and then it's also a mana rock as well, so hopefully you can chain that into another spell. Faebora Elder cares about all the colours among permanents you control, so this can be a 3/3 that generates 3 mana and has Vigilance. It's a pretty nicely statted card, to be honest, and should be pretty easy to enable, because it cares about its own colours as well, so you just really have to put a red card in play to get maximum value. Easy enough when the vast majority of our cards actually end up being red. Glass of the Guild Pact gives multicolored creatures +1/+1, so a nice little Lord effect of sorts. Stays out of the way of board wipes and whatnot. And then finally, Hero of Precinct 1, not a multicolored card, however, whenever you cast a multicolored card, you get a 1/1 human creature token to play around with. And then things like Domriang Bolus can give you +1/+0 for those, and then things like On-Crop Captain as well can give attacking creatures +1/+0, giving you that extra little bit of go wide synergy there, which is absolutely wonderful. There's a couple of other cards I do kind of want to go into on this one, some cards that you might not see, which hopefully we do, because they're pretty cool. Things like Dusk Dawn. It's a 4-mana sorcery, destroys all creatures with power 3 or greater. That can hit us quite a fair bit, but we do have a lot of 0s and 2s and things like that. It's actually the Dawn part of the card that I really wanted this for. Dawn is 5 mana for a sorcery with Aftermath, which means you cast it from your graveyard and then exile it. And it says it returns all creature cards with power 2 or less from your graveyard to your hand. So if we didn't have the Rienne about, and we've lost lots of cards over time, then we get to use Dawn to hopefully reset the game and draw a million cards, because it may look like we've got some 0s to 2s in our deck, and quite a fair few of them, even Aurelia being a 4-drop with 2 power that actually gets pumped. We got Rienne as well, Skyclave Apparition, we've got, who else have we got in here? Got some lots of zeros as well, Rubble Belt Rioters, Sky Legionnaire, Knight of Autumn as well, Shana. There's just so many. So many that give you all the different little bits of value, like Brushfire Elemental, hard to block, carry Zev, makes a menace creature, and a 2/1 that attacks. There's lots to do with the Dusk Till Dawn, so it might be a little bit weird to cast the Dusk side of things, but the Dawn side will certainly be highly effective, so hopefully we can make that happen. We also have an extra combat step with Response Resurgence, so it's a removal spell that's multicolored, so it'll trigger off of the Tome of the Guild Pact, and then the Resurgence gives us an additional combat phase, as well as First Strike and Vigilance, which can be pretty cool. Thrash Threat, multicolored again, allows us to hit Planeswalkers. We do have Domri's Ambush in here, as well as Banishing Light. And Skyclave Apparition, Bonecrusher Giant. We're a little light on removal, admittedly, but we do deal with artifacts and enchantments quite well. We do have Knight of Autumns for that, Skyclave Apparition, as we've mentioned. And so hopefully we do okay. I'm guessing a Seeker isn't banned in this Historic Brawl format because reasons. Mostly the big reason, I think we all know, is that Wizards don't care enough. So, you know, we have to police our own format, apparently, but, you know, there's going to always be those people who want to play that deck, because 5-color decks, admittedly, are very fun to play. They're just absolutely miserable to play against and ruin the format, in my personal opinion. So, either way, though, let's stay on a positive note. We're not going to be playing against the Seeker today, because if I do see it, I will auto-scoop it. I am done with that deck, so until it gets banned, you'll never see it on this channel. So, there you go. And, yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. If you do, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get to it, and I hope you enjoy the video. This video is brought to you by the generous support of our wonderful patrons and channel members that you see here. If you'd like to support the channel and get access to cool content like sneak peeks, bonus videos, polls on future content, or access to a personal deck critique from myself every month, then hit the join button down below, or check out the Patreon link in the description. With all that said, let's get into the gameplay. Okay, we're in, and a 1-lander means automatic free mulligan on this one, I think, because if we did draw a land, it'd be awesome. I may even have considered this on the draw, but I think we need at least 2 land drops before we can really, realistically use a hand like this, so, yeah, free mull, a 3-lander with only Thrash Threat to play on 2, and it doesn't really do anything on 2. Again, it's a bit of a weird one. It's a slow one. Is it worth it, though? Or do we go to 6? And very rarely go to 6 in Historic Brawl, but this, honestly, it feels like it has to be. Alright, so we got a 2-lander. We got the Captain, who's castable. Apparition potentially down the line. Yeah, okay. This one's pretty fine. So we're going to keep. We're going to go down, I think, Rubble Belt Rioters. Maybe, yeah. I'm unsure on that one. Tap lands, say go. We'll put the pathway on red here. We're kind of like, I think we're mostly green-red with, Thoughtseize, okay. Our opponent is playing Tigrid, God of Fright, by the way. A 5-mana 4/5, whenever an opponent sacrifices a non-token permanent or discards a permanent card, you may put that card from the graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. I think our trigger might override that. And they also have a Lantern here, which is kind of like, what's the card? They got rid of our Skyclave Apparition, by the way. That's rude. What's the card? It's not Hour of Devastation. It's the X mana black X Bolus's thing. I can't even remember the name of it. Either way, it's that. Alright, a Banishing Light. Is that worth it on the Bloodfast? Probably not. Probably not worth doing that. Let's go with Domri here, because if we get a land, that means that we can actually cast Rienne. And I think a cast of Rienne is pretty decent. It is another multicolored card, unfortunately, so Rienne can't return a cell from the graveyard when she dies, so it might be a bit of an expensive investment for sure. Ends the battlefield, each opponent discards a card. I'll get rid of the Banishing Light, honestly. Oh, that's not too bad. I'm going to go with the Rada here. Hope for a land on top. We didn't get one, sadly.
Come and destroy.
Add some mana. We could minus there to get rid of the Disciple, just to get in for an extra 4 points. I'm not sure it's necessarily going to matter, though. Nor is this Rhythm of the Wild. It's kind of a dead card in this matchup for the most part, except for the hasty side, I guess. Liliana.
I'm looking for new minions.
Opponent reading cards
Too much?
finds it quite difficult. I imagine there's a shame scoop in our future. Okay, so we get to go pay 2, another land on top.
Oh, I wish you could see your face when I'm beating you.
I think we're going for Rienne here. Ah, that shame scoop. Oh, it was delayed. They really thought to themselves, oh, I should probably scoop, but they just didn't. They just didn't bother. So I don't think we care about Liliana. I think we got our opponent's face, because these guys are going to be swinging in for like 5 and 6, I think, with the on-crop captain. So that's a lot of damage. And we got that protection as well from single target removal. They'll have to go after the Rienne, essentially. And I'm guessing that the Disciple gets chumped there. Got the Clifftop Retreat on the next draw so that we get to keep a card in hand for Liliana, so we don't really care too much about the tick-up necessarily. We're also playing off the top, so our draws just get a lot more consistent. And yeah, that's mostly a shame scoop. So this card cares about the number of cards in their graveyard. Even if it wasn't, though, we only had 2 in ours, so it really makes absolutely 0 sense on that minus. I guess maybe they'd given up then. I don't know. Either way, first game down. It felt a little clunky, did this deck, but we managed to eke out a win nonetheless, sort of curved out. We've got our soul-seeking angel here who haunts my dreams. So yeah, we'll get that. We'll get that on our emote docket, I guess. Yeah, it does a little bit of a shuffle, you know, like as its soul enters, and it eats mine. Yeah. Either way, next game. Ooh, a Selvala matchup, eh? This hand is, I'd say it's pretty good. So Selvala Heart of the Wilds is a 2/3. Our Brushfire Elemental will be a 3/3 off of a land drop, and then we can thrash it. Yeah, I think that's a good enough reason to keep this hand, honestly. So, let's talk about our opponent's commander. Hopefully they stick around. Ooh, look at them sleeves. It won't let me look at them sleeves. There we go. What are they from? Which secret lair? Is that like the fairies one? I don't know. Either way, Selvala, Heart of the Wilds, 3 mana, 2/3. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, if its controller may draw a card, if its power is greater than each other creature's power. So there's his big boy tribal. But it also synergizes, or it's synchronous, sorry, should I say. Because if we play the bigger creature, we get to draw a card. I've never really seen Selvala draw more cards for the person using Selvala. I've been very lucky in that regard. Opponent goes with a Fierce Empath into a pretty sweet forest. Okay. So they have the Llanowar Elves, which means they can play Selvala next turn. I'm assuming that's what they want to go ahead and do. I kind of feel like I want to go Brushfire Elemental rather than stomp the Llanowar Elves, because this can be unblockable. And we still have that Thrash turn next turn anyway. So here comes Selvala. We could technically draw a card off of Selvala here, but I think I'd much rather make her more expensive. So let's put you on red. Now you're a 3/3. And kill Selvala. So, commander costs 5 now, which is pretty decent. Hopefully we get a white drop, maybe, so we can fight some stuff off. Yeah, I guess Kabira Takedown is now officially a land there. We could trade Steel Leaf with Brushfire Elemental by stomping. I'm almost not against that. Let's see if they want to take that. They do. Okay. It's not the best trade-off for us, of course, but... Oh, don't tell me you've got Blossoming Defense. Sudden Spinnerets! Wow, the blowout. I guess that helps him generate a lot of mana, and now I guess we lose. Great henge. Cool. Huh. Land drop for me, please? Nope. Yeah, I guess we lose. It's as simple as that. Great henge is just too good. We have to use our Banishing Light on it. We're not really producing a board state. Our opponent has one, and we do not. There's the land. Here comes Selvala. Yeah, we just can't come back from that. It's kind of exactly what I expected from this list, if I'm being completely honest, which is, you know, our deck is randomly just not that great most of the time. Let's get a 5-power creature in play. It'll match our opponents. They have to play a 6-power creature here in order to trigger Selvala, but that shouldn't be a problem at all. Yeah, we're just absolutely getting ruffle stomped. Selvala. Didn't draw them a cards, by the way, and I am refusing to block. Didn't stand a chance. Sudden Spinnerets was the card that beat us. Without that card, no Great Henge. Without Great Henge, no redraw. We don't have to see Endra's Foreigners for a while. We also have a Brushfire Elemental that lives as well. Banishing Light goes on Selvala instead. And just this whole game goes completely differently, but yeah, it's a combat trick, alright. I guess that's so they can make Mega Mana with Selvala, tap her and then untap her with Spinnerets. It's a thing, alright. Well, next game. Alrighty then, we're in, and we go first. We have all 3 colors of mana technically here. If I put down the Kabira Takedown, I think that's what I want to do on my turn 1 play. Then I have access to either Karizev for Extreme Aggression or the Hero Precinct 1 with no current triggers, but, you know, we've got top decks ahead of us. I think I'm going to keep this one. Our opponent's on Niv Mizzet Payroon. We'll get to that in just a second. 6 mana, 5/5 with flying, and this spell can't be countered, which is irrelevant. Whenever you draw a card, it deals 1 damage to any target. Can be pretty relevant, honestly. And whenever a player casts an insult or sorcery, you draw a card. We don't have too many of those, so we won't be triggering that ourselves all that much. They will probably have a lot of burn in their deck. I think I go with Hero Precinct 1 here, because Domriana Kabolas will trigger it, and that seems pretty reasonable if we get a cast trigger off of this. It's likely to die anyway, though. But if it doesn't... Alright, it doesn't. Cool. So one thing we do have to care about with Niv Mizzet Payroon is Curiosity combo. Put you on... I don't think we've got any double reds or double greens, so I don't think it particularly matters. Let's put it on red, though. Our hand is mostly red here. And I think we're going to go with the Rubble Belt Rioters as that little extra little bit of haste, perhaps. Trigger hero, swing on in. Hit our opponent for 4. It survives like a Storm's Wrath a little bit better, which our opponent may have. Also, Anger of the Gods doesn't hit it. Firemine's Vessel. Alright, so Niv Mizzet is coming down. And we do not have double white. Oh, sorry, we don't have a fourth land, sorry. I think I might hit it with a Skyclave Apparition, honestly. Seems like the better thing to do here is to keep our opponent away from the 6-mana 5/5 that can blow up my entire board if it feels like it. But we're in a weird spot now where I kind of have to hold up an Heroic Intervention, otherwise bad things happen. Enigma Drake and Electromancer. Alright. That's some blocking value for sure. Still missing our land drop, though. Hate to see that. Does this care about the attacking creature? No, it does not. Alright.
What a glorious day for some anarchy.
So, let's swing in with Rubble Belt Rioters. And I guess the token as well. Let's do that. Swinging in for 6, putting our opponent to 10. Rioters is kind of a free block. This is a lovely little trade here. And this actually means now I can minus on the Enigma Drake if I want to. I'm not sure if I want to, though. That's the annoying part. I guess I have Dusknet's turn as well, though. So let's do a bit of that.
Bring in your comeuppance.
If they draw the land, they get the Niv Mizzet. And then I need to figure out what I'm doing with that information. Currently, I suppose what I'm doing with that information is hoping to draw a land and appeal. That would draw our opponent a card and kill my token. Currently, Dusk is making me lose Hero Precinct 1 and Skyclave Apparition. The problem I have right now is that I could just lose if our opponent has a Curiosity in hand.
I was raised by wolves. Though
I think I'm gonna tick up on green. Gonna give Hero +X and Trample. They'll probably pick off the token. I'd love them to just not pick off the token. Because I'm going in for a big swing here. So now do I use Heroic Intervention? I'm not sure I do. Could do Authority, so that's 6, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, this is lethal, right? They draw, they can ping for 1. And then the squad gets in. Oh! Oh! 3 mana! A 3 mana matchup there. Okay. Aggro can exist in Historic, at least to a certain extent. Damn. I had honestly forgotten about Authority when I was thinking about Appeal. I was thinking, I'll play Appeal, and that'll make my force really strong and force Niv Mizzet to do some blocking. Which, certainly it would. At least to a certain point, it would probably go on Skyclave Apparition, but as soon as Authority popped up, I was like, oh yeah, it's got a tap effect. And yeah. Victory is sealed. Was there anything that they could have done differently there? Maybe if they'd have gone after the apparition and not killed it, they would have relied on me playing the second one in order to get it. But if I did play my second instant or sorcery, they get a 4/4 to block. I'm not sure if that makes any difference, because that would leave me with our token as well, our 2/1 token. So I'm not sure. But either way, we got our win. I think we're now 2-1. I did win a game off camera of opponent auto-scooping. Oh, we actually, yeah. So we must be 2-1 because I've got 3 wins now. So not too bad, not too bad. Our one loss was an absolute ruffle stomp of one-sidedness. So, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, so far it's seeming like a fine deck. I wouldn't say it's terribly powerful though, so it's probably not worth spending a ton of wildcards on, but certainly as a person who doesn't play too much aggro, because I don't find it viable in Brawl all that much, outside of, I guess, Torbran and Magda, I guess, as well, maybe. Mono-red, basically. It's nice to see at least a non-mono-red deck aggro list doing okay, and yep, pretty happy with it. Let's go for another game. Alrighty then, we're in, and this unfortunately looks like it could be a pretty bad matchup for us, and this is a pretty bad hand as well. Okay, no, this works. We don't have green mana for the Bronze-Hide Lion, but we're going to be going turn 2 hero, turn 3 Tajik swing in with the team, I think, and that should do some pretty good damage. On a crop captain as well with the hero precinct 1, going to be pretty valuable. In fact, I might go hero captain Tajik, who knows. Either way, Redlands say go. We're up against Sorin Ventral Bloodlord. The reason why I don't think this is going to be a particularly good matchup is because of the passive on Sorin. He's a 4 mana 4 loyalty. Gives creatures lifelink on our opponent's turn, which essentially means that they get to swing back probably for as much as we're swinging into them. Lots of afterlife creatures probably as well. Ticks up, can deal 1 damage to us or a planeswalker. And then the minus has a little bit of reanimation in there. Hushbringers are Hushbringer is our first card from our opponent. It's not one that we have to care about too much here. I am going to go with the Honored Crop Captain, because that is an Anthem effect we can exploit next turn. Tajik has haste, so it's going to be pretty good. Yeah, nothing really enters the battlefield except for, I guess, Rampaging Ferocid on triggers, but I guess what we really want is the players can't gain life side of things here. Okay. Ooh, Glorious Anthem. I think we'll go Tajik first, since it makes a token. And yeah, I think we're just getting swinging in with everything here. I will make the... I think I'll make the token a 2/2. So we're already trading with the hero on the Pridemate. I don't know if they'd really want to be doing that. Everything now trades with the Pridemate, so... Put our opponent to 11 here. And I kind of just really hope our opponent misses their land drop, because if they get the Sorin down, then they're gaining 4 here. But maybe with Glorious Anthem, we can swing back for enough. Enough to not have to care. So the ping goes up to 4. Gaining 5. Let's see if they dare to swing in. Ooh, Domri's Ambush. So we've got 3. This will be... Oh, we can't cast it. Never mind. If we play a Glorious Anthem, though, that should probably do it. Maths for blockers. It's not our job. Send it. Mentor up. Anthem up. We are going to make you trade with the Ajani's Pridemate. Now everything trades with the Pridemate. Yep. So our opponent goes to 2 here. Oh, sorry, 1. And we basically hope for no board wipe, because that should be enough. We're a virtual 2 with Sorin's tick up. Oh my god. The board wipe. Alright. But for Rostodon, though, forces our opponent to answer it or die. Because any creature entering is not going to be enough. Hushbringer getting reanimated, though. Kind of annoying. So what we want is a green source for Domri's ambush. And then the Menace should probably be enough. You can still -2 with Sorin and get back the Pride Mate. But they can't gain the life. So I guess that doesn't really work for them. We are pinched just on green mana. It's quite clear to me. Spark Hunter Mastercore discards to get it into play. So now they can technically block. Opponent really hates Planeswalkers. Been there. Swing in for 1. No life gained. And yet we're in ambush and our opponent with no removal away from victory here. Color screwed. Yay. Okay, pass the turn. That could honestly, that might be our opponent stabilizing. That legitimately might be all it takes. I'm just happy that we got as close as we did, though. If I'm being completely honest, win or lose, I'm happy that we got our opponent at least to 1 here. What's our opponent planning on doing here? They've got a decision to make. I just don't know what it is. Can't feel to ruin me. Can't Ardenvale. Guess they can Mastercar? do you want to Mastercar a little bit? No? Okay. Could ping your own Sorin. I'd be okay with that. Yeah, there's just no way I think that Ferocidon is getting in the damage here. Veto. Alright, well, they don't gain life, so we don't lose to that. Hit me for 1 again. They've got 2 blockers back after an ambush, so that's not good enough anymore. Alright, we did draw the green mana. Okay, so do we still ambush? We probably do. Who do we ambush, though? So no damage is dealt, which is nice. So we have a 5/5. So if I got rid of, like, Pride Mate, then the double block doesn't do him any favors. They do lose Indestructible there, because they've paid 1 for something. I think that's the line. We hit the big one. Force 2 chump blocks. Unless they've got a God's Willing effect. I don't think we have anything to worry about here. Okay, no protection spells. Double block from them. It's that or die. Alright. I suppose we could have also gone for the Hushbringer. The problem is that the Sorin can just -2 to reanimate it. So it doesn't exactly prevent our opponent from playing the game necessarily. It just forces Sorin to go down instead of up, which up's not doing anything for them anyway. Okay. So how do we secure the victory, though? That's the thing. I don't think we've got any direct damage in our deck, necessarily. But I guess if we drew a land, we could do Rhythm into, like, Bronzehide Lion. Give it haste. And then they've got a double block on Ferocidon, plus they have to block Bronzehide Lion. And every single one of our creatures from that point forward is hasty as well. So you have to consider that. Alright, well, go grab a forest. Opponent thins the deck. Mastercore is indestructible if they want it to be as well. So I do need a green source off the top to make that plan work. What about Showdown of the Scalds? I don't have any 1-drops in my deck. So it wouldn't hit anything that I could cast this turn, but the chapters 2 and 3 give me a counter on creatures I control, so I can make the Ferocydon quite large. They're a basic removal spell off of that being kind of not great, though. It's also a Rienne. Rienne gives me that extra body in the sky. I think that's where I want to be. Let's have a 6/5 that needs to be blocked a lot. And then, because we need the Ferocydon to live, trading it off for a 2/1 isn't actually all that good. I need the you can't gain life side of things in order to stay in this game. Best draw for us, I think, is just like a Thrash threat. Leaves our opponent with not enough to block. Thrash threat, Collision Colossus would also work. Banishing Light. I guess any form of removal in our deck is just fine. We really pulled our Silver Bullet card, and we are so lucky our opponent has not drawn the exact answer they need to remove it. They've probably got lots of exact answers to remove Ferocydon, but maybe they've got a Heartless Act in hand as well. That could be a thing. Okay, is Rubble Belt Rioters enough? It is going to be attacking in with haste. It's going to be 6 power. Our opponent needs to double block, but they have an Arden Veil. I guess we could keep Ferocydon back. Does that make sense? We definitely swing. So 1 blocks Rienne because they have to. At least 1 drop blocks the Rioters because they have to. I guess they have to block all of them and they can't, but they have the Arden Veil token. We get Rioters back when it dies. Alright, so token blocks Rioters. Mastercore, Aerialist blocks Ferocydon. Hushbringer means that they live here. I think I just attack like this. Because they survive and then they actually start being able to gain life again. And we can't be having that. Okay, yeah, Aerialist has to go down. Actually keep my Rioters in play as well. Land drop for our opponent, they can't be happy for that. I just need that window. That window where Ferocydon can safely attack through. I guess it currently exists right now. It now no longer exists. It's a pretty solid top deck from them for sure. And then they get to tick up, take me to 18. Have they got anything left in there? They got a veto. Ooh, Domri. What does Domri do for me? Domri allows me to fight. He could also go green for Rhythm of the Wild.
Oh, I look forward to seeing you running away.
Spark onto Mastercore can be indestructible. What happens if I fight Hushbringer? Opponent has to minus with the Sorin, just bring it back like normal, I guess. So, you fight you. Mastercard can kill Domri. It is true. They can't do it on this turn though, otherwise they lose the indestructibility and risk having it die. So that means a forced aerialist block on Rienne. Swinging in for a lot with the rioters, so that's a chump block. Is this a safety period? This is a safety period, right? You're dead. 3 blockers. 3 attackers, 1 with menace has to double block. That's the game. Wow. Yeah, right. So block, force block, cart block. You're dead. Right? Yeah? Oh! Oh! I love this deck. I officially love this deck. Oh my god. It might not be the best deck in the world, but these wins have been so specific. Oh god. Like, don't get me wrong, getting colour screwed for half this game definitely dragged it out as long as it did. Like, if we just had another green spell, we'd have been, like, rhythm into, like, hasty creature, pressure, pressure, pressure. And this would have been a very bad game without Rampaging Ferocidon as well. But they didn't have it, and, yeah. Things occurred. Oh, this is glorious. I absolutely love this deck. So I think that's actually us done with our daily situation. We got our Sigrid, we got our gold. That's technically the 4th win of the day, and I think, oh my god, it's just throwing gold at me. I think that will do it for today's video, so I can get some more Historic Brawl done for you guys as well. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. We ended up going 3-1, I think, something like that. Technically 4-1, but one of them was an auto scoop, so we don't count that. 3-1. It wasn't a bad deck. It really wasn't. It was definitely an absolute joy to play. Absolute joy. We didn't really see any of the top end. I would honestly consider maybe Dumping Tome and maybe even Dusk to just find some more multicolored 2-drops for this deck so you can be more aggressive. That certainly seemed like a very, very cool part of this list. I mean, this gives you the long game for sure. We just didn't seem to really need it at all, which I really thought we would. But our long game just comes in the form of extreme constant pressure, and in that regard we had it. Yeah, maybe down Tome, down Dusk, cool cards as they are, but maybe some removal spells as well. You could do like Lightning Strike, something like that. Something that could hit your opponent's face to finish off that last 1 point of damage seems kind of relevant. But yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure anyway, guys, producing today's video for you. I really would appreciate it though if you did enjoy hitting that like button and subscribing as well for more Historic Brawl content in the future. It's obviously my favourite format. Hopefully it is yours, and if it is, this is the channel for you, so stick around. And yeah, leave a comment down below as well what you guys are playing in the Historic Brawl arena. I am very curious. I'm a little bit uninspired, other than this deck actually, a little bit uninspired as to what commanders to play that we haven't already played. I'm thinking probably I'll do some revisits on some old lists, to be honest. But if you guys have got any cool lists, let me know down below, and maybe I'll get round to playing them over the next 3 days. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. Take care, and have a wonderful day.